Today, we're opening 3 extraordinary wines with equally compelling stories. In this episode of Our Poor Decisions, we'll take a closer look at Scarecrow and Abreu. We'll dive into the history of the wines and the extraordinary people behind them. To keep things a bit more interesting, I decided to follow the suggestions made by many of our viewers and have Stacey and Pops taste the wines blind.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
How will tasting these wines blind affect how Stacey and Pops perceive them? And more importantly, since Pops has never had any of these wines, will he be able to figure out which bottle is which?
Welcome, fellow wine lovers, to another episode of Our Poor Decisions.
So, how are you feeling about today's episode?
I am giddy, just giddy.
Aren't you always giddy though?
I have never tried a bottle of Scarecrow before, as in, never.
What about Abreu?
So I've had several vintages of Madrona Ranch, but never the 01, and the Cappella is new to me.
Well, in that case, let's get started.
The Scarecrow is made from grapes from parts of the original JJ Cohn estate in Rutherford, now owned by Cohn's grandson, Brett Lopez. Located next to the Kneebaum property, now the Abreu Cappella estate, this is home of some of the oldest Cabernet vineyards in Napa Valley. David Abreu's Madrona Ranch was his home base for the Abreu Company, and the Cappella vineyards are based in St. Helena. These are wines we'll be opening today. The Las Posadas and Thorivillos vineyards are located in Howell Mountain, but whereas the Las Posadas is located at about 2,000 feet altitude, the Thorivillos vineyard is located below the 1,400-foot qualifying elevation for Howell Mountain AVA. The Abreu Company does not own the Thorivillos vineyard, by the way.
Welcome, Stacey.
Thank you.
So I told Barrett I'm giddy.
I heard that you might be super giddy.
This is my first Scarecrow.
Same. I've never had it before.
So we're doing a blind tasting today. Earlier, I labeled the glasses, so I'm the only one that knows which wine is which.
So how do you feel about the blind tasting?
I think it'll be great fun. I have never had these wines before, so I don't really know kind of what to expect. So it'll be interesting to see what they taste like, what our favorites are before trying to guess which is which.
So B, I want to talk to you about this. How did the opening of the wines go?
Not good. Never have me open the wine bottles ever again. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. Wait, what do I do if it fell in the wine?
It just fell in.
Yeah, it just fell in.
Well,
I don't know.
You're gonna
Does that ruin the wine? I'm used to screw off tops. Oh God. See what I mean? There we go. Oh.
You know what? I feel like Stacey here could be she could give you a really good tutorial.
It takes practice.
Okay, should we start with A first?
All right, if that's what you think we should do, then we are starting with A. The Scarecrow story starts all the way back in 1945 when JJ Cohn, a famous Hollywood executive, planted Cabernet Sauvignon vines at his Rutherford estate. The fantastic Cabernet fruit was first sold to Inglenook and later to some of Napa's most famous wineries, including Opus One. There were 3 heirs to this estate when JJ Cohn died at the age of 100 in 1996. So in 2002, Brett Lopez, one of those heirs, teamed up with Francis Ford Coppola, who owned the neighboring property. And thus, in 2002, Abreu Cappella got 60 acres of adjacent vineyard, and Brett Lopez got the main house and 25 acres of vineyard, including 2 acres of Old Men, the prized St. George cloned Cabernet Sauvignon vines planted back in 1945. And in the following year, Lopez and his winemaker Celia Welch made the first ever Scarecrow with 100% Cabernet Sauvignon grown on the property, including 1.5 tons of grapes from the Old Men. And ever since their first release, Scarecrow has been one of the most sought after Napa Valley cabs. The name Scarecrow, of course, plays homage to Lopez's grandfather, JJ Cohn, who made The Wizard of Oz among other classics. The wine itself is made entirely from Cabernet Sauvignon, grown on the old JJ Cohn estate, including the 2 acres we mentioned of Old Men from 1945. This will be my first time trying Scarecrow. Can you tell my voice is shaking? How about we look at the color?
Gosh, it's dark. For me, there's a little bit of like slight bricky orange to the rim. Just a little.
It's not much.
It's not much, but a little.
It almost looks black in the middle.
I mean, for sure it does.
Yeah, this is
What am I
dark.
gonna do?
All right, this has a lot of flavor.
There's so much going on in here.
Lots of primary fruit.
There's something like I get leather.
You get leather?
I get leather. Like leather
I could
bells.
see that. I could smell that. Should we try it?
All right, let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Uh-huh. I mean, whichever one it is, it's really good. That is a lip coating, like dark chocolatey mess going on right there. The finish almost hasn't even like started to die off yet.
It is rich, thick, but still, it's got great acidity.
It's got great acidity. My tongue is tingling, but it's like a sweetie kind of tannin, like not aggressive and abrasive or any of the negatives that we've talked about with tannin before. It's just like sweet and ripe and clingy.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, it's pretty great. This is delicious.
Do you have any idea which one this is?
I do not. I'm trying to think about how much is Cab about this. I know that there's some Cab Franc and some Petit Verdot mixed into some of the other blends, and I don't really get anything that's like those greeny notes.
This feels like 100% Cab to me. This feels like the Scarecrow just because it's like.
It would be crazy if that's how we started, was with the Scarecrow.
Boy, I'll tell you what. That's good stuff.
That's a knockout.
Want to taste B? B?
Yeah, let's.
B for B?
B.
This is my favorite.
If the Scarecrow story is like a Hollywood plot full of twists and turns, the story of David Abreu is that of a local viticulturist craftsman who built Napa Valley's most successful and admired vineyard management company. David Abreu, a third-generation Napa resident and a St. Helena High graduate, grew up in a family of ranching and in a community of growing grapes and making wine. In 1980, David acquired the Madrona Ranch property and started Abreu Management Company. Since then, the client list includes Harlan, Colgan, Paul Myers, Sloan, Bryant family, and Screaming Eagle. 1987 was the first commercially released vintage of Abreu Madrona Ranch, and in the mid-90s, the wine really started getting critics' attention. The 1997 vintage, which I happen to have a bottle of in my cellar, was the first Abreu to receive a perfect 100-point score from Robert Parker. There's been numerous since. The current Abreu wines are made by Brad Grimes. Brad was hired by David in 2000 and has no formal education in winemaking. In fact, he is educated as a chef, but his attention to detail is legendary. One of the things that sets Abreu wines apart is that various grape varieties from the same vineyards are co-fermented. The analogy here is that they make the wine the way you would like to make a great dish like beef bourguignon. You would cook the ingredients together and not individually. Since the vineyards are picked multiple times, the barrels are first aged separately for a year, only to be blended and aged together for another year. Abreu makes 4 vineyard-specific bottlings: Madrona Ranch, Thorvillos, Cappella, and Las Posadas. The Rothwell Hide and Tilting Rock bottlings are blends from multiple vineyards. The Abreu wines are expressions of terroir more than anything else, and because of the way they're made, the varietal blend of each vintage will always be unique.
I mean, again, with the color, it's super intense.
It's basically the same color. Like,
Yeah.
let's just be real here.
No?
It's deeper. I think this actually even might have a little bit more of that like orangey rim to it.
This feels older to me.
It looks like it.
So I get a little bit more old world here.
I get old world. I get some tertiary flavors too. Like everything so far makes me want to believe that this is the oldest wine we're tasting. It's definitely older than that one because the color and those flavors of like mushroomy, earthy, there's definitely something else here.
I am so surprised by that. I did not expect to get that on the nose at all.
Yeah, you don't even know what's in the glass. How do you know?
Well, I don't feel like old Cabernets from Napa give me these flavors.
Okay.
Typically,
How frequently are you drinking Old Napa Cab?
well, I guess frequently enough that
You have an opinion about it.
I have an opinion.
Sure.
And it's only happened like a few times, really. And I think this nose is fantastic.
Oh, it's great. This one was fabulous, but this nose is way more complex.
What do you think?
This was definitely more fruity. This one's definitely more mushroomy.
Yeah.
Should we try it?
I'm dying to.
Yes, yes.
Cheers.
Oh, wow.
This one's good too, but I think I like A a little bit better.
I don't know which one I like better, but they are definitely different wines.
Yeah, they're different.
Like, this is clearly
different.
I feel like this has to be a blend because there's just so like, it's not just cab. It is clinging to my tongue in a different way. I feel like the tannins are a little less in this one, whether they've aged or softened up, or whether it's because the blend we didn't start with quite as many. They're still there and present, but they're hitting my mouth in a different way, and they don't linger quite as long.
Okay, so you're saying B has less tannins or more tannins?
I feel like currently it has less tannins.
Okay. And I think that the big difference is that there are obviously tertiary flavors, but it's lost a little bit of its fruit. And so it's not all the way to the tertiary place, and it still has some tannins. So for me, like the tannins are still really present there, but it's not because there's more tannins, it's just less primary fruit to kind of like offset it. I'm gonna say that's a little older. And I'm thinking since there's only one that's from 2001,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put money on Madrona Ranch here.
I'm in the same boat with you. I feel like what we've tasted lines up with those.
And I will tell you, I have full coverage for why I was so giddy at the beginning, because these wines are outstanding wines.
They really are.
They're pretty good.
I mean,
Pretty good.
All right, let's try C.
Okay.
so what's fun about this is that Barrett gets to edit this video after the fact, and then she's going to run the videos on the wines. And so all the viewers at home will, of course, know what they are,
Perfect.
see all the stuff, and then they
laugh at us.
And they can laugh at us if they want to. If we are way off, they can go, yeah, they don't know what they're talking
They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Why are we listening to them talk about wine?
I mean, it's really dark,
Yeah.
about. Again,
really similar.
I think there's some color in this to indicate that it might be older too. Now, whether that means this is the 01 or this is the 01, I don't know. But even at 2008, we're gonna get some color change. But it's definitely deep and dark with a little bit of like brickish at the edge.
I'm going to go on record to say that the nose on this is more similar to B.
Yeah.
Which gives me greater confidence that we may have been right about A.
Okay, this is crazy thing to say, but I'm kind of getting beef jerky.
Yes. Yes.
I am thrilled to hear that. I think this has got a lot of really fun stuff going on.
Well, I love beef jerky.
We talked about primary fruit here. We got into some tertiary flavors here. This has got some of those really fun, like meaty leather, jerky flavors. There is black and dark fruit in here too, but those aren't the first things that spring to mind. But I'm still on the nose feeling like these are the blends, and this is the older one.
Let's try it.
All right.
Wow, that meat and chocolate is a weird combination of flavors, but that is a lot of what I'm getting on the palate. That kind of like roasted animal and then dark chocolate.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Like the nose is good, but the palate, like on the palate, it's kind of crazy good.
It's an acquired taste, I think.
But it is.
But
I love it.
I didn't
expect it so much in this glass,
No,
did you?
I didn't. So I am really curious at this point to hear what you think.
For me, I feel like A is my favorite just because I normally like the easy drinking kind of wines. And I would definitely say that A fits that profile the best. And it just tastes good to me.
It's delicious. I'm not going to say no to that wine at all.
I would recommend you to go back to A.
It's different from the beginning.
It's different because now we have two other wines that have been in our palate and just kind of affected how we taste it. And gosh.
You changing your mind?
No, maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
I'm like, this is really hard.
They're all amazing.
The thing that just knocked me out about A when we first tried it, right, was just that beautiful fruit. Really integrated, well, sweet tannins and great acidity, right?
Yes.
And it was just the purity, linearity that was just great. B had a lot of complexity to it. But then it was like a little on the mid palate, maybe lacked a little fruit. So I don't know. And then C was just a whole different kind of like, it was like way over on the side.
Going back through and tasting them like through and through, B is my least favorite now.
I think it's still really delicious.
Oh.
I mean, like, all right, I'm going to go back to C. I can't make up my mind.
Yeah, what is that preferred preferences thing that you talk about?
Oh my gosh.
Which glass is disappearing first?
You know what? We're making dinner tonight, and I'll be like arm wrestling people
Steak?
for the last. Well, yeah, it happened to be. I mean,
red wine, let's see, steak?
yeah, well, it's just, that's a good bet around here. I'm going to go on record to say I think A was Scarecrow. I'm going to go B, Madrona Ranch, 2001. I'm going to say C, Cappella, 2008.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that B and A are my combined winners. They're both incredible for a little bit different reasons. And C for me is my least favorite one.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with you on which ones they are. I think that's right. I think A and C are my favorites, again, for different reasons. I love the weird complexity and the strange flavors that are coming from this that make me want to drink Syrah or make me think of olive tapenade and meat. I think B is good, but I think that these two are better.
Okay. B, what do you think? What's your favorites?
My favorite is A, but I liked all of them.
Yes.
All right, what about B and C?
B and C, they were just, I don't know. I just liked A better because of reasons I stated before. Are you guys ready for the reveal?
Oh, I'm dying to know.
Okay, let me double check.
Dying to know.
Oh, what do you think? You think we were right?
I mean, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, how could we not be right?
You know, I'll tell you what, when I blind taste, being wrong is almost better because you learn so much from being wrong. If you're right, it's just like, cool, I'm amazing.
Well,
but if you're wrong, you're like, okay, what made me wrong? And let me think deeper about why I chose it the way that I did.
All right, B, what you got?
What you got?
Drum roll! Okay, 1A. You guys got it. It's Scarecrow.
Can we high five? Yes.
All right, let's do wine reveal for B.
Oh, this is taking a long time. This is a lot of suspense you're having.
I know.
Okay. It's the Cappella.
Number 2, B?
2 is the
Yeah.
Cappella?
Oh.
So,
Pops,
okay.
really?
Cappella, Madrona. So we got the first one right, we switched the last two.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then obviously C is Madrona Ranch.
Really?
I'm okay with that.
Really?
She wrote it down wrong. There's no way I could be wrong. It could not happen.
I think we talked about so many more weird, interesting flavors on this.
Yeah.
I think that tracks. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with liking this one better than this one because Madrona Ranch is a little bit higher elevation and it's like...
It is the mothership.
It's the mothership.
Well, this was really fun, B.
I love that we did it this way.
And I like knowing the secrets.
Is this like a new role for you? Do you feel like...
Yeah, I think if we do blind tastings from now on, I need to be the ringleader.
Yeah, and who needs to open the bottles?
As it turns out, Pops' giddiness at the beginning was well warranted. He and Stacey oohed and awed all evening, and in their infinite wine nerdiness, couldn't seem to finish the list of all the flavors they found. We really enjoyed the 2008 Abreu Cappella and its tertiary flavors of mushroom. We just wish it had a little more fruit to balance it out. Who else was shocked when Pops guessed it was the oldest vintage? The 2001 Abreu Madrona Ranch was so unique. With its meaty beef jerky flavor, it was almost like a meal instead of a drink. The Scarecrow wine was rich, thick, and had great acidity. The tannins left a pleasant and ongoing mouthfeel. This wine was my favorite due to its linearity and dark fruit, which made it so easy to like. Doing this blind tasting was so much fun, and I think it's safe to say Pops was as giddy in the end as when he started.
All right. Jeff.
Pick your favorite and come on over.
Come on. Which is your favorite, Jeff?
Oh.
Well, if I'm cheersing, I only have one option.
Oh, not that he liked the wine, but the
A and
glasses
C
are
were his
empty.
favorites. Okay, I like that. Did you have a favorite? I mean, I see A and C are gone, but like.
I honestly had a really hard time picking a favorite. I love the Scarecrow, like I tried that.
Yeah.
But it definitely felt more straightforward to me. I guess I'll get here.
Get in here.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching.